It's uncut stainless, beautiful. Leaking at it. I like this one. After that, what am I doing?
Making a mold.
I am making a mold. I am making a very cool mold of a new horse, riding horse, a new poncho figurine. Cool. And this cool lightning bolt, of course. My mold has been heated, kind of hot, maybe not hot enough. Yeah, it'll be all right. May have to heat up a little more. I'll heat it. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll throw this is unvulcanized rubber, and I will throw it on the hot plate and warm it up.
So what are you doing now? You're picking plugs to go in the mold?
Yeah, I gotta find some stuff that'll fit, because you don't want to have an empty mold.
Right.
The molds are about $70 a mold.
The cost of the rubber?
Pardon?
The cost of the rubber?
Cost of the rubber is $70. That's my cost. So, and then what I'm doing now is this is parting powder, and it allows the rubber is not going to stick together. So I'm rubbing it on pushing down my mold now that I got it warmed up.
Parting powder, huh?
Yeah, parting. Here's my center and then my lock nuts. So I never did this kind of casting until I had moved away to North Carolina and I had my miniature railroad there. I wanted to make railroads. Who the company was, and I called them up and I bought the machine and self-taught myself like Neon, you know. I'm self-taught in most things. How to make the mold. Alright, so I've got my poncho. Now we're going to go from the bottom up. Not the best way. Not the best way. So, okay, I've got poncho there, and then I've got ring screws, but they're not going to take up enough space. So I'll find some other things.
What about that palm tree?
Yeah, maybe I could put the palm tree in there.
It's a cool palm tree.
It is. It's an old casting. Ancient. Palm tree kind of fits, kind of. Not really. So I put the palm tree in there. That's all she wrote. So I can put my lightning bolt in there. It's all on the wrist. Close to the edge.
Down by the river.
Down by the river. Oh yeah, okay. Cut. We love the dollar store. Here's an interesting blade. This is one where the plasma started to go, so it left a cut. So then I filled it in with brass. Very cool.
Very cool.
That is. Okay, this rubber. Here. Make it nice and warm. Gonna punch out the center, and it gets very hot. save those things. I don't know why I save them. One day I'm going to use them for something. Putting some of these exhaust. So here's the parting powder. Make sure the mold comes apart. And this is just one poncho of the horse. So every time I cast this, all I'm going to get is one chapped cheek.
Well, that'll make it exclusive, right?
That's right. It'll make it hard to do. Okay. Maybe if people like that one, then I would go ahead and then make another mold, you know, and have nothing but chapped cheeks in there. Buck naked and chapped cheeks. Now comes the hard part. This is why I usually wear a heavy other leather apron. I don't see it because this stuff is 350 degrees. It's very hot. It burns. Ah! And what I'm going to do is compress this raw rubber for 1 hour under 10,000 pounds of pressure in this handy dandy machine here. And I gotta keep it all flat. I'm just not as strong as I used to be. I used to lug these things around like they were nothing. Okay. See if you can grab that off of there and put it right on top of there. It stays hot all night long, doesn't it? Right, flat. No, just the way it is. Okay. If we're lucky, pick the bottom. Put the bottom on just like it is. Right there. It's a lot easier to handle now. Pop the ring off of it. It's easier. Pop the mold out. Oh, that one has powder on it. Just throw it on my table there.
Pushing them. I got one hand not coming out.
Okay, it's hung up on my couch. So, there we go. Beauty. It's very, very warm. And it'll hurt you. And here's the plaster. This was my original right here in plaster, carved in plaster. And now I have to remove the plaster from it. So I'm cutting now my center. This is how the metal gets around the mold. Because remember, it's centrifugal. So, and like I said, these are very sharp. If you slip, you can really do some damage to yourself. And the rubber is hot, you can't cut it cold. And that's the danger. You always have to cut a hot mold. So it hurts to cut a hot mold because you burn yourself. And you can't wear gloves. There's no wearing gloves to get the metal to where it needs to go.
So those are little grooves that you cut to the...
Right, from the circle. And then there's air channels I have to cut and all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's... Okay, so now I'm going to look for a nice meaty spot. You don't ever want to cut your registration where you have an object because you just destroyed your mold.
Right.
The metal will just go flying right out, gone.
Oh, the whole mold's junk.
Right.
And that's the registration
That's
nut.
the registration mark, and you look at that now, it's so easy now when you put it together, you know where it's at. We're going to mark this mold so we know what
Here's
it
the
is.
pot of molten pewter.
And it is hot.
Yes, it is. And this is going to be more molten pewter. The drippings bucket. And here's the machine. The centrifugal force mold machine. The Doc is going to use to create the palm tree and cowboy on the mold
so
he just made.
Here we go. To make sure it's clean. Now, it works by the top. See how that came up? It's under pressure.
Yeah.
So that moves. And then when that's up and you hit this button, it starts to spin. That'll hurt you.
I'll bet it will.
So if you forget, that will hurt you. Now we're going to let it spin for a little while. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't powder our little puppy here. So we have
the
to
talc.
find the talc.
Up top.
Well, we want talc, so I think this one's talc. Hey, you know, we'll know real quick if I screwed up, it'll be funky inside. Doesn't affect it, it just gets funky. Give it a slap, blow it out. You know, you want it in there so it gets into those little things to let the air travel microscopically through. Now, he was spinning a small mold at 600. We have to bring it down to 500.
Because it's larger.
Right, so right around 510. And we don't have a lot of metal there, but we're going to use the large scoop. And we're going to know when we hear it flow, I'll know exactly how much metal it'll take. But it shouldn't be more than this scoop of metal. There's not that much in there. And that's it. And then we'll let it spin for a minute. And
see what we got, right?
See what we got. If I overpoured it, because I have to bang this out, and it's when it's full, I got something to bang against. It's okay. We'll use a little more metal again, so we know. 3/4 of a cup. This stuff's like ham. It's like pig. Nothing goes to waste. We scrape it, we gather it all up, we sweep it. It's got silver in it. It makes it. It's expensive. I mean, it's not. These bars are 150 bucks a pop. You don't get a lot of stuff out of that, you know.
Yeah.
Now that palm tree
didn't make it.
Didn't make it. As long as Chap Cheeks made it. Oh, there's our sun that didn't come out before. How cool. Rodeo seems to come out. Seems okay. Yeah, that's all I really care about is him.
Yeah.
So, if he came out, there he is. He's beautiful. He is gorgeous, and he's hot. He's so hot. We'll clean him up in a minute. Okay, so there he is, and I got a lariat right here. And then when we darken him, all the details will show up. I got to do a little bit of work on it. No, he's fine. There it is. Right there. It sits right there, and that's it.
Very cool, Doc.
Yeehaw!
Yippee-yi-yo.
Yippee-yi-yo, mama.
Mama.